Hey, welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Sitting here with Christian Finnegan. You're playing some Papa Shot over there, huh?
I was indeed.
You get tired, right?
It does, man. Yeah, you think like, oh, just throwing up the ball. It's not a big deal. Yeah, after the shoulder starts to...
Yeah, I play that. I'm 45 now. Horrendous shape. And I just horrendous is the only adjective I can think of. And I feel like I played a full court basketball game.
I was always terrible. When I used to go out and play basketball on the court. I lived up on 108th in Columbus, in New York, and I would go to the, local high school park or whatever, the courtyard. And I'd play with these kids who were 12 years old, and they would just school me constantly.
Good comp up there, man.
Yeah, but these were like infants, though. Yeah. I was playing against like a lot of these kids' voices hadn't changed, which is really humiliating.
Hey, I'm open.
Yeah, and when I would
pick and roll.
When I would hit shots, they'd call me Steve Kerr, because this is probably like late 90s. And when I missed shots, I don't even know what they would call me. They would just call me white boy.
Yeah, Steve Kerr's a nice compliment.
Yeah.
The West 4th Street by the cellar here. Those
yeah, the famous.
6th Avenue. I used to play in the late 80s there. We would go out bar hopping. And in the clothes we went out with sometimes at 3 a.m. on a Friday night, there'd be games going on. And I got into a couple of those games. And I'm one of those guys, one of those heavy set we'll go with, heavy set white guys.
Husky.
Who has a husky white guy, who has a really good, in a game to 15, okay, 5 on 5, full quarter to court like that, there's always, and I'll tell my teammates when I first meet them, like, and you're just picking guys, I tell them, guys, there's going to be a 4-minute window in this game where I am unconscious from the outside. I will not miss anything for 4 minutes.
Yeah.
I offer nothing else. No defense.
I will not get back on defense.
No, right, no rebounds, no layups, no inside game, no passes. I don't understand if you're going to call for a high pick and roll. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But for 4 minutes, just get it to me. And I'll bury them, and that's what. And what I would play, it was so much fun playing hoops, man. Do you still play at all?
You know what? Sometimes when you're traveling on the road and you go to the gym, they actually have like basketball courts there, which is so amazing.
It's the best, man.
My general rule of, at least my general observation, is that the fatter the people in the town, the better the gym is. Or like,
that's true. The Midwest,
yeah.
Like Indianapolis,
Omaha,
Houston.
With the greatest gym I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. It's like, guys, are you using this properly?
You know?
There's always at the juice bar.
Yeah, exactly. They're just hanging around watching TV at the gym.
Now, you're Irish from Boston. You mentioned you hate St. Patrick's Day, and you don't like any Boston teams.
I hate the Boston
So you're
teams.
just a total rebel.
I would root for Hezbollah if they were playing against the Red Sox.
How did that happen?
Because I had my butt constantly kicked by dudes wearing Carl Yastrzemski jerseys.
Red Sox fans.
Yeah, just,
Celtic fans, too, the whole thing?
Knicks are the... I mean, I'm in New York. I moved to New York when I was 18, and at the time, I was kind of one of those...
So you got right the hell out of there.
Yeah. As soon as I could get out of there. I was one of those sort of poet warrior types who, like, I don't play athletics. I was one of those
You're like
jackasses.
Bukowski.
Yeah, like I was like, I'll play some ultimate frisbee sometimes. That'll be this
hacky sack.
Yeah, but so by the time when I actually got into sports, I was already living in New York. So I kind of adopted the Knicks. Knicks are really the only basketball is really the only sport that I follow on a hardcore basis.
Would you go back and openly go to the Boston Garden or the Fleet Center and openly root against the Celtics?
Yeah, I think I would. Well, I'm not the kind of guy who's going to be like getting in people's face. Anyway,
I'm not lay back.
No, I don't want to get punched. I realized recently I've never been in an actual fist fight, and I feel like
good for you. It's been a while for me, but there was a bar fight period in my life that I'm not proud of.
But aren't you glad to have that in the rear view? I mean, not that you want to do it now.
It's good it's in the rear view, yeah.
I wish I had fought someone.
Do you?
Well, because now, if it happens at all, it's going to be humiliating.
Well, no, my partner, Nick, my old partner, he has a great line about if you get into a fight. Over this past summer, I was at the Jersey Shore, and I happened to go into a bar, Club Karma at Seaside Heights. And me and my cousin were just literally looking for... we're trying to people watch, and it's the greatest place to do it, all the Guidos and stuff.
Yeah.
And I swear to you, I wasn't planning this. I didn't know. We walked in, and they were taping the Jersey Shore. And the kid, the short, real, roided out looking kid.
It's the DJ one?
No. Ronnie's his name. Ronnie. Okay. We were goofing on him on the air, and when I was on Howard, we always goofed on him. And I don't know, maybe he somehow knew about that or something. For some reason, the camera guys recognized me and pointed me out to him, and he was screaming at me like he wanted to fight. He goes, come here, come here, come here. And I looked at my friend, I'm like, does he want to fight me? Like, I don't even understand. And the camera guys were laughing. And at the time, I was 44, it was last year. And I said to myself, maybe I should fight him. And then he walked away. And I brought it up to Nick, and Nick said, he goes, you made the right move, because at the age of 44, if you're in a bar fight, you just the fact that you're in it, you automatically look like a jerk.
You're right. There's no excuse.
You look like an a-hole.
You can't write up and be like, oh, he's young. He doesn't,
Because even if you beat the hell out of the kid, which would not have happened, you're going to look stupid because you're older. And if he beats you up, you're like, there's no winning, right? There's no win. So you got to do it when you're like 19 with a pool cue and,
That's why Fight Club, man. I think that's what the secret of that movie, Fight Club. Because I think every guy on some level, you have this desire of like, I want to know how I'd handle myself if it really went down.
Right.
And I think I would cry.
Well, it depends on who you're fighting. Like, my biggest fear would ever, God forbid, like getting some sort of biker mad who had a lot of friends. Because the North New Jersey with, the mafia thing, like, that's a real thing around here. Like, you just never know.
You never know.
You never know. Like, who am I? You could take a swing at the Joe Pesci character from Goodfellas. And before you know it,
there are genuine sociopaths.
Right. Genuine.
Yeah.
So you're doing a lot on the road. How long have you been doing this act that you're going to tape now?
Well, I mean, it's been developed over the last 2 or 3 years. I haven't done anything. My last CD came out in 2009, and so I feel like I've been dying. You know how it is when you just want to burn material.
Well, I'm about to shoot a new hour.
Yeah.
The last one I did was for Comedy Central in 2009, and I'm very bored with this hour.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I want to get it done. It's like second nature, which is good, I guess. I want to get it done and move on to something, even if it's bad.
Yeah,
I
just clean the plate.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Because it gets to a point with a joke where it can only go badly. Because if it goes well, it's like, well, I already know it can go well.
Yeah. You see, if a joke is done well in Seattle, Miami, Jersey, and Peoria, you're like, okay, this is a solid laugh.
Yeah.
There's no pressure.
Right.
Which is half of the fun.
But I am still in that phase. It's only 2 weeks away, but I'm trying to figure out. There's like 90 minutes to 2 hours. I'm trying to figure out what the hour is. So it's like, you know how it is. There's some bits that, you would do at a drunken crowd at a comedy club that maybe you don't necessarily want to do in your hour.
You don't want to see for the rest of your life on a DVD.
Well, exactly. Well, and it's not, it's something you do as almost defense against a drunken crowd. It's not necessarily your nuanced observations about the universe.
Now, mine's coming up. I think I got to do it in August, and I'm already in that mode.